Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome back to another Blast Pro Series. This time we're here in Lisbon. These two clowns are already being ridiculous. The Creamy Bears, as we know them. We're going to do another behind the scenes on Media Day. This is a lot of fun. Last time we had some crazy conversations and topics and discussions about all things pretty much other than Counter-Strike at times.
Can you hear me?
I barely hear you.
Okay, let me do this.
Okay. What's he doing?
He's already messed it up, hasn't he?
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I can hear that microphone already beckoning in my
Put
ear.
on the wrong headset.
That's a great start. He's new here.
Hello.
Let me first
there we are.
talk
Yeah.
about why I'm wearing my own face on the shirt. I think that needs to be cleared out now. It's kind of the elephant in the room.
It doesn't have to be.
It's not that I'm going any harder than 50%, but this is actually my 100th event, which is actually kind of cool. So thanks, Blast, for making these shirts. This is 100 events in like 4 years. That's why I have no life.
How does that feel?
Soul draining, a little bit depressing. No, it's actually pretty cool. Let's be honest. It's kind of cool.
I don't know what my event number's at. I don't think I have that.
I just made a list one day, and then I started counting them up, and I
think I could go through with all like the invoicing and the spreadsheets of who owes me money. I could probably figure it out.
Well, that would only cover one specific tournament organizer. So,
And let's take it in a new direction.
Yeah, let's go this way.
I didn't name names. So just like last time, we're going to sit on the couch and go over a plethora of topics that are interesting. Well, we think are interesting. They might not be. They might be too interesting for broadcast. We'll find that out as we go.
Wait, before we do that,
Yeah.
can you recreate that face? Because the one thing it's missing is the blonde hair to go along with it.
That's why.
I need to shave into a mustache again, but it's like, let me see.
That's close.
That's
All right,
pretty close.
sweet.
I think you should just keep that face.
I look a little more seductive in the shirt. I might actually just wear this out on Tinder dates from now on. I think it's going to work 100%.
You do strike me as the kind of guy who would wear your own face out to the bars.
All right, Creamy Bears. So this topic we're going to start off with is called Respawn. So if, hypothetically speaking, I were to shoot you both right now, you could respawn as if it's a video game.
Why is it always guns?
It's hypothetical.
These Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me with the guns. All right, Jason. Let's not get into that one. If you could respawn in life and Counter-Strike wasn't the option, if you were going to go anywhere else with it, where would your life have taken you? Whether based on previous... I guess we'll ask it two ways. We'll start with where you actually think you would have ended up in this life, if not for Counter-Strike, and maybe where you would have liked to have gone in a different life. We'll do both. We'll start with where you would have gone.
Let's start with Anders.
Okay. Jason doesn't want to get into it.
I really feel like my life would have failed miserably. I don't think there would have been much hope. I think I was right on the edge of just not making it work at all.
Anders,
So-
this is called respawn. You're supposed to say what hasn't happened in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that. I don't see there would have been much option. I think maybe I would have maybe with no Counter-Strike, I would have become like a professional Diablo 2 player. And I would have
So
just
still a
done that.
gamer.
Yeah, I just can't see a way around that.
Was there such thing as professional Diablo?
Yeah, I was gonna say Diablo
No,
2,
I would have had to have made it, right? I would have had to have done it myself.
You're like a trailblazer.
But you
Been
could
the first
have just
guy.
like farmed up all like the crazy good items in Diablo 2 and just like sold them
Sold
off.
them, yeah. Maybe that could have been
it.
it, like a Diablo 2 auctioneer. I don't know. Either I think either that or maybe I would have just. I think I would have just hung around the university world forever. I would have never got a degree. I would have just done different courses, and then at the tender age of 45,
Van
I would
Wilder.
have,
Exactly what I was going to say. You would have been Van Wilder.
yeah. So I'd have just sort of roamed around. I would have had different degrees, different weird things going on, and no money and a lot of debt, and then I think that would have been it.
That was a great movie, by the way. That was
bad.
like
It
the
was-
breakout for Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Ryan Reynolds of that.
Yeah.
He's got a couple good comedy ones.
Yeah, Deadpool.
It's,
I like the Deadpools.
Well, Deadpool, obviously.
Yeah.
But that one he has, Just Friends, it's like a rom-com. It's actually really funny.
Oh, I've never seen it.
It's good. It's you'd enjoy it.
Jason?
Yeah,
Your
if
turn.
I were to start over, where would I be?
Yeah.
He's thought about this a lot, by the way. Like he's regularly had this conversation with
If I were to
himself.
retire right now.
Listen, we've all had this conversation many of times. I don't know. I guess where would I be? I would probably be a reasonable failure as well. if I'm honest with myself. I mean, I spent a year working in an auto factory doing die setting.
Now the cap, that makes a lot of sense. I
that was fun.
can see that.
What the cap?
Yeah, the auto, like I feel like you sort of.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I almost killed myself doing that job. So
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, I presume?
Yeah, no, not
like you were so depressed by the job.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay, let's
like
just clear that up.
It was. I mean, it's heavy machinery. I was putting in. You put these machines are like giant, 100-ton machines that can put that much pressure, and it's plastic mold injection. So the molds, I was the guy who lifted up like a 50-ton mold into the air on the crane, put it into the machine, bolted it in, hooked everything up, and then got it started running. So it's super dangerous. A lot of people die doing it. And part of the crane, I made a slight mistake at one point, and part of the crane broke off, the hook that holds the mold. I'd already bolted it in, so it didn't fall or anything. But the hook came right at me and just hit like a steel beam that was in front of me. So my colleagues actually took this hook. It's about like this big or so, and it's it's pretty hefty. And they put it on like a little plaque and
gave it
date on it and gave it to me. Like, this is the day you almost died. I'm like, thanks guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking for a new job now. I'll see you later. But I don't know what I'd actually be doing. Actually, one of the most fun job I ever had before esports, which I had to get out of because I think I very easily could have just stayed in it forever, was bartending. I would have loved to have been a bartender.
He's good in bars. He knows his way around them.
I would have loved to have been like one of those really cool bartenders, inventing new drinks and actually making the classy
videos.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to pop Bud Light caps off for 6 hours a night for the rest of my life. But
I know
bartending, it's just a very fun environment when you're young and early 20s, which is what I was. And then I came to the realization I was like, I have way too much fun doing this because after work it's like, oh, what do you want to do at 2 a.m.? Let's take this bottle of booze and have a good time. So
you could have gone on to qualify for the American Congress, so it would have been great.
Oh my God! All right, Anders Bloom. It's good that you didn't say in another life you would have.
What would you do if you started over, Matt?
So well, I'm gonna give you both. So obviously,
race car.
There you go. Yeah, done. I mean, obviously, photography was kind of what I was doing. So that would have been if Counter-Strike never showed up, that's literally the course that I would have stayed on and just kept going with it. I still have stacks of hard drives of photos I haven't edited. I still shoot everywhere I go.
You have pictures of me from Cluj-Napoca that
no one's ever seen.
Yep, no one's gonna see those pictures.
Well, someday it's gonna be like this crazy good throwback, right? Like a time capsule where all of a sudden all these pictures.
Anders has been doing that lately on Instagram. He's been throwing out some oldies.
Yeah, but I mean, unlike what Matt has, mine are just taken with random cell phones, across time. But yeah, I try to dig through the old records and just find something.
Yeah, and then you answer the other one, which is if I could have my other dream career.
I guess
that's a little hard. But
if I had a choice, I would want to take this in a new direction. I'd want to go back to I don't want to go back to medieval times. I'd want to be a knight. I think that'd be cool.
I always thought about that.
Yeah, if I can respawn, or maybe a dinosaur. Maybe I'd be a T-Rex.
I think there's something purple T-Rex with your short little arms.
Yeah.
I think there's something really cool about wanting to live in a time when technology doesn't dominate our lives, where it's riding a horse to the next town is a big deal.
We also have the luxury of being I guess the last generation is our age group that didn't grow up with cell phones. I didn't get a cell phone until my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
The majority of my life.
I only got one because the school I went to didn't have a bus running to where I was going. Yeah. So it was the only way my parents could contact me and pick me up at the end of the day and find out where I was.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I got one.
I started with those Nextel walkie-talkies. You remember those?
Oh yeah.
And we used to beep each other in class just to get them in trouble. Just chirp them and it'd be
How wait, so if we respawn in another age, do we have the knowledge that we have now? I'm assuming not.
I'm assuming not. Because maybe
that's not fair, is it?
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. I want to know, but I want to hear
to this game.
I just want to hear what were you thinking? Because this could be interesting, knowing Anders.
Just that it would be because this is something I've realized is that even if I had all the knowledge, if I had any knowledge at all, even if I knew the things that I knew now, if I did respawn 1,000 years ago, I wouldn't actually be able to do anything. As in, if I said, well, listen up, guys, there's this thing called electricity, and it can do everything that you want to do. I wouldn't actually know how to really do it. I mean, I know maybe I could put sinking copper in salt water and try and do something. But I couldn't rebuild anything.
I think what you do is that it was that really lame movie Hot Tub Time Machine. You just go back and patent everything.
I never saw that movie.
So all he does is go back and they go back to the future instead of Google. It's
this is the thing.
If you go back 1,000 years and try and patent something, you're going to get stabbed with a rake. And no one's going to accept your patent laws at all, right?
That's the only thing I could think of is predicting future. You could just be a really good gambler.
No, but let's say you go back and you meet some king 2,000 years ago, and what you want is the best possible life in that age. So you got to try and up your game, and you say, you know, I have this piece of technology, right, that I'm gonna try and give to you, and that will prove that I'm actually from the future. Well, not from the future, but that I know something that's really valuable. None of us could rebuild anything. We would just be useless, completely useless.
Yeah, it's true. I don't have that many skills for that. All right, I think we've.
No. I want to do one more clever spin in this game. Is that cool, producer? Is that all right? Yeah. Let's.
It's taking over the show.
Yeah, it's my show now.
All right, I'm down with it. Let's go.
Let's do this again, but I want to very quickly. Why don't we play Respawn, where you say what you think Anders would have been and what I would have been, and I'll say what I think you two.
Okay, Anders would have been some sort of history professor where he actually uses his class to spin conspiracy theories onto and breeds his own little army that pushes his theories and
what I'm trying to do
ideologies. Exactly. But you would have actually done it. You would have been a professor that literally forces ideology on people.
Yeah. I like
Jason. Oh, what would Jason have been? There's so many things Jason could be, right? I think humble, modest.
Pretty awesome.
What would Jason be? I think Jason, you would definitely be in America. You would probably be like, I don't know. I want to say like somehow you're going to get notoriety. And I just picture you for some reason driving in like an old drop-top Cadillac, one hand top of the wheel, hanging over the door.
That sounds good.
Crazy Detroit rock music playing, just driving down. I don't know what you were. I don't know what you would have been, but I just have that vision of you.
Okay.
So I know your end game. I don't know how you got there.
Yeah, that's fair. You wanna go?
It's tricky, isn't it? I feel like you would have ended up running basically sort of guided tours and tourism for people visiting that part of Canada.
Okay.
Like, you know,
I could do that.
taking them on trails.
A lot of tourism over there in Halifax.
Yeah. Peggy's Cove is lovely.
There we go. I'm not saying like a huge business. I'm just saying, you know, taking people out to sort of like see the nature, see the trails. I feel like that kind of vibe. I think that would be it. And then, you know,
Cool. I could do that.
Yeah, I think that would be like something local, less crazy than the 100 events and all the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Moses respawning. It's very hard to say.
It is tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why am I hard?
I don't really know.
I'm here.
Yeah. Ooh.
I could see Moses trying to take his life into, because this would have been like early on, like internet booming. Moses thinking about what's better than bartending. I think it would have been like a porn producer. I think that would have been the way to go.
And I can grow the mustache.
That's how he got the drop-top Cadillac.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we had a similar vision, right?
Yeah,
and
just
like,
different times of this fictional life of mine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
what kind of porn?
I think there would have been. I think there would have been few limits. I think it's one of those areas where you can expand your horizon as you go
along. The safe word
right?
is yes type thing.
Yeah. just keep it going.
Oh God. Oh dear. All right, Jason, you're up.
I imagine Anders as like this like. Anders would be one of those guys you hear about him these days that do like the genetic testing on themselves.
Yeah.
You'd be that guy who'd be like injecting himself with all this weird shit and be like, I cannot wait till my 4th arm grows.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
I really like that idea.
Yeah, I think that'd be you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
We're not far off either. I mean, we can get there in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So
we'll be there soon.
Yeah.
Matt.
Hey.
Would be. Oh boy, what would you be? I think you'd be like a professional dog walker, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like
no.
You would just stroll around your little town,
to
walking
quote
everyone's
Childish
dog.
Gambino, I am running this bitch. You are just a dog walker.
Yeah, you'd have a dog walking company. You'd start at the bottom, right?
What about dog sledding? Could I just have like a bunch of sled dogs?
Yeah, but there's not snow all the time, so you'd be kind of useless for 9 months a year, which
That's-
isn't too far off.
That makes a lot of sense. That's pretty much where I'm at now. I think that's fair.
Listen, that's a great job though. Like, think about it.
Do people get rich in big cities?
Yeah.
Well,
I have a
rich,
friend
but
who
you can make some decent
She's
money.
married and he makes enough money that she doesn't have to work, and she almost caught up to his income just dog walking around Dallas for a year.
It's mental. I mean, you see people when I was living in Chicago, you would see people walking like 9 dogs at a time, and each dog is like $50 a day to like walk that dog.
And
It's like, okay.
you get exercise. You get to be around dogs, which is better than people.
I agree.
You know,
So
can't really pick up girls. Like, what do you do for a living? I'm a dog walker.
Yeah, but when they see you coming down the street with 10 cute dogs, they're not saying no.
I disagree.
Maybe like a one-night stand type thing. You just go from one-night stand to one-night stand.
On that note,
some sketchy areas here.
We're gonna
producer hitting the red button.
Yeah, exactly. We're pulling the plug. We've been close a few times.
We've gone from weird porn to one-night stands.
You can get involved in this by the hashtag #BlastBackstage. That's as simple as that. We'll get some interaction. You guys can ask some questions. Maybe you guys can put in your theories as to what we would have been if we respawned.
Yeah, send us that. What you think that the three of us would
it's not
be
gonna
in
be
an
good, is
ultimate
it?
life. No, it's not. But it's going to be things that we can't say on air, which is kind of unfortunate.
Oh,
It'd be
man.
cool for us.
I think someone's got to have some creative ones that'll make us laugh at the very
And then
least.
once you have that, Photoshop a picture of us doing said job.
I'm down. I'm kind of scared, but also down at the same time. We can let you do that over the break. We're going to take a short one. We'll come back with a few more little fun segments for you. Welcome back. Hashtag #BlastBackstage. You can interact with us. We're going to have some fun with some different topics. We started off with respawn, and sometimes you respawn because of, unfortunately, friendly fire. But in this case, it's a good topic. It's
That was dark.
firing friendly. Yeah, I didn't kill you guys yet.
That's the second time you've referenced killing us, by the way.
It's 100 events. What do you think I was planning this whole time?
Jesus.
I was aiming for this target. Going 100 with Sadokist. And not just in a car. This is actually friendly fire.
All right.
Two different. It's who you fire with friendly. It's who you play with in the community on your own when you're gaming, whether it's Counter-Strike, any other game. People love notoriety. Perhaps people who are unknown who deserve a shout-outs. I don't know. Like, I'll let you guys open that up. Players, it could be other pro players you're gaming with every now and then. If you frag out with Simple every once in a while, someone like that. It's up to you guys.
I don't really get the chance, as you know, with all the travel we do, to really play a whole lot of video games. So when I'm home, Christine Potter and I we game together a little bit. I have like I guess maybe not monthly, but pretty decent tradition with Fifth Laren. Grind some Diablo 3. We usually go pretty hard for like a week, and then it's Diablo 3, so you don't really play it after that.
Unless you're Anders.
No, Anders won't even touch Diablo 3. He's a purist.
Right.
He's an elitist with Diablo 2.
Yeah.
But I know I play like Switch games and stuff. Like I play like Dead Cell with Paula and I. We both play it and we chat about it a little bit. And then I beat everyone's ass in Mario Kart on the Switch. So
that's
that
true.
game
I've seen that
real quick. Like people didn't
Scary.
like playing that when I was around. So that's kind of not cool.
Yeah, you kind of like.
I've heard a lot of rumors that you're cheating in that game, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how to cheat.
NVIDIA settings.
How would you cheat? Oh yeah, that's
clearly. Yeah.
Any cheater would say that.
Yeah. How do you
What do you mean cheat?
Smash Bros is out, so I'm hoping get some people playing that.
All right.
I'm a big Smash fan, but yeah, I don't. I'm kind of I guess old school with video games. I like single player games. I don't really like a whole.
Oh,
lot
you
of
don't like
multiplayer
friends?
games.
Okay.
Yeah, I generally like this. It seems weird because we have such a public job. I generally just don't like people.
Okay. There you go.
So
I can relate. So
reasonable.
It is weird. We're like
I
thrust
should
into the
rephrase
public
that.
spotlight.
I do
but-
like people. I just don't like being around people
Yeah,
very much. So
sure.
when I like to play single player games on the PC.
Okay. So basically no one. Jason has no friends.
Yeah.
He went on a long-winded statement trying to like beat around the bush
I
on
was
that
really
one.
trying to validate
but-
the reason why I don't have friends.
Exactly. That's all he was doing. Truth is, he just doesn't. Anders brings me to you. You with all your theory crafting, I know you used to like communicate with God B a lot on stuff like that. Like, there's got to be some more other people.
Sure. If we can count in that, then I might have a happier story. But otherwise, as soon as the topic's introduced, I was like, oh god, it's gonna be really awkward. You left one thing out, which is obviously Clash Royale. I think that's actually no, but it's so
Destroying
depressing.
green rooms since 2018.
It's so depressing. But the problem.
We've been playing a lot of Clash these past
Yeah,
days,
we really have, haven't we? Yeah. Like it's. I don't know. I go through like different phases of that game because we've got the Bears in there as well. We've got like some different people in
Bears and his brother. We got who else we have in there? Freya from Face It.
Yeah.
Is she a Clash Royale player?
Yeah.
She does not strike me as the type.
Yeah, she didn't strike me either, but we got her in there.
We got her in. So no, but for some of the time I just hate myself for doing it, and then some of the time it's great. But
you do play with the crossbow, so you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I've well, that's my goal really is to just annoy other people in the game.
Can I just say that I had that game for like, was it DreamHack Malmo?
It was 2016 when we all installed that.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's been out that long.
So let's just talk about this for a minute because this is something that's been annoying me ever since. Really, the person who got us all into this is Henry.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Guys, you got to install this game. It's amazing. You got to do it." And we were all like, I don't really, you know.
That seems a little weird.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Henry's like, come on, like, and he wouldn't shut up about it. He just kept talking about it. And eventually we installed it, and I think
he started crying too, I think.
Yeah, he was really like begging us to do it.
Tears.
And like 1 day later, he quit doing it. And we've been doing it ever since. So
this is almost like your smoking story. Jason like baited into it.
Yeah, it
wasn't even baited, really, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Just made us do it, and then he quit. I can't believe it. So,
to be fair, I downloaded it the same day, but I quit with him. I just was like, you know what, this is going to go badly. We're all going to get on each other's nerves.
In hindsight,
I hated the guy with the lance that used to run at the base.
Prince.
Yeah.
Prince. Man, I was like, I'm out. I don't have the Prince. I couldn't get the Prince. I don't want to play this game anymore. It's not fair to me. I rage quit and just deleted it.
So here's. I mean, I just don't. I'm not in a good position to really play video games most of the time. I
couldn't wait, could you?
No, you just had to do it. It was the
Carry on.
It was the cream that convinced him, I think.
This is apparently a Portuguese style.
This is the Hangover.
All right. I don't know. Video games wise, I mean, yeah, I talked to some of the pros about really nerdy Counter-Strike stuff. I'm not sure if that counts. If I ever get a chance to play, I have some friends that I play with. And sometimes I play with. If I can get to it, if time zones match up, I'll play with Richard.
Okay.
But obviously he's over in America, and I'll play with Sam, Richard's producer, and Duncan if he's around. So like I've got like some people that I play with like that, but it's really hard for me to get time because I've GG'd my own life in terms of.
Yeah, you have a child.
Yeah, a traveling child.
1.5 child.
Yeah, 1.5 child. Yeah. It's another one coming. Then it's gonna get real crazy.
Yeah.
And then I went and started a software project. So I just thought.
And you're taking those slow motion videos of pugs.
And I do that a lot too.
Yeah.
So that can a whole day can go
Pug
by
the
with
dog. I thought we were talking pickup games.
No.
you know you're a CS player.
No, it's the dog.
Yeah.
So I would say overall I've limited any time that I can really have doing it. So it's sort of depressing, isn't it? I feel like we should be.
This was. I don't think they intended it to be such a sad subject. But
like, these guys play video
games.
I know. That's
bail us out here.
No, I knew this was gonna happen. I was like, we travel so much, like we don't get to game. When I'm home, I haven't played a lot of CS. I think the show match was like the first time in 14 months. Weirdly,
that's the story of show matches.
But weirdly, I had a good time because we actually like tried. We were horrible. But we tried to throw some smokes, and we like and we like Nitro was kind of like giving the few strat ideas. I'll say not calls. He wasn't really calling, but he was like, why don't you guys go try this? You guys go play over there. I'll go kill some people. And I had some fun. It was good. That was it made me almost want to play the game some more. So I might do that over Christmas. I might
play the Battle Royale mode.
We have the first ever Battle Royale, just to note, was Chad, myself, and Henry. None of us had played it, and I just decided I had like no ammo and very little health, and I just planted the C4. And I killed the second last guy, and then the C4 blew up and killed the last guy, and we won the game without even like knowing.
Yeah, C4 is a weird thing, isn't it? It's
a bit crazy in that game mode. Weirdly, it's a lot of fun. But no, when I do play, I play a lot of PUBG, as everyone kind of knows. It's kind of like just a casual game for me. I do play it at a competitive level, like a face-it level, like a pickup game level. So I do take it seriously, but I play with a lot of those guys, like Avengers, the guy I cast with when I do PUBG. Play a lot with Tweede, actually. Kevin plays a ton of CS, obviously we all know. Yeah, he's great, and he does a ton of PUBG stuff. So I play with those guys, and in CS, I don't know, who would I play with? I'd probably play with a bunch of the old school guys I played COD with, and like guys like Yeti and stuff that my friend Adam from Toronto that I used to.
Shout out Adam from Toronto.
Yeah, Adam, Racine. Weirdly, just to go back before we read out this tweet, because I'm going to, is we were on the same COD team, and he was talking about go-karting, and I was like, you probably can't drive. And he's like, yeah, I raced for this team in Ontario. And it was the same team that I raced for in Ontario 2 years before. And we were on the same COD team for like a year and had no idea that we both were on the same Canadian karting team.
That's a crazy.
It's
crazy.
Maybe there's. Why are you doing this?
So, as Jason clearly is not interested in my life, hashtag Backstage. What are your expectations on the Portuguese crowd? Jason, over to you.
I've heard that there's going to be some amazing crowd here. Like I know the MIBR guys from when they did that boot camp, and they just came here and they were like, yeah, you can use our facilities if you play in this like 4-team tournament or whatever. They said it was mental, and I expect it. I mean, obviously Portuguese crowd. I expect it to be similar to like what they have in Brazil, which we all know gets a little bit wild out there.
It was crazy in Bilo.
Yeah, that was a really cool environment. So I'm expecting this to be just insane, absolute insanity.
I think it's going to be wild. I definitely think so. The arena inside is looking really cool. So yeah, I think it's going to be great.
I've also had more people from Portugal like messaging like a DM on Instagram, on Twitter, and just be like, hey, like, hope you guys have a really great time in the city. Yeah. Like I just see you in the arena, and I've had so many of those, more so than I think any other country we've gone to, except for maybe Brazil. But it's so welcoming.
Semler and I were at the hotel yesterday, and the guy there recognized us and said, oh man, I can't wait. It's going to be great. So I feel like it's pretty well public in that sense. Like people know what's happening, and I think
we were
we were just at a bar last night, and the TV behind us had like football, real football, not American football, soccer, whatever, matches going on, and like a bunch of other ads and stuff. And then we just randomly looked up, and there was just a Blast Pro Series ad on, and we were like, hey.
Like in the middle of a commercial roll, it was just Blast Pro came on.
Yeah.
Sick.
Had like sick B-roll footage. Of, like,
didn't see myself on it, which is a little
that's too bad. Jeez, you're going to have to get that one in your contract next time, aren't you?
Have a chat with someone.
Yeah. Jeez, face rights and all. Make sure you paid for it, too.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so that we saw that. Obviously, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that like you said, the Brazilian crowd's pretty nuts. And I was going to reference the same thing you did about MIBR playing here last time, because it was like a non.
I don't even think they expected the crowd to be that crazy.
Yeah, they said there was like 10K people at that particular event, and it was like I don't want to say like a non. What am I trying to say? It wasn't heavily a publicized event. Like it wasn't that well known even outside of itself.
I don't think anyone knew it was happening until MIBR signed on to go.
Yeah, like it was one of those events.
One of those things.
It was pretty sick. It was actually it was like they were raving about it when we got to. It was actually right before Below Horizonte, if I'm not mistaken. We flew there, and they met us there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
because it was after Epicenter. It was like right after Yanko joined the team, because they did Epicenter in that.
Listen, my timeline in my head, I don't remember
It's
anything.
all the same, relatively the same. It's time for another break in which, Jason, you can finally eat these without interrupting and
I'm good,
destroying.
I think.
Okay, all right.
I might have some of that candy, though.
He does love cheese, Jason. No. Fun fact, this guy likes tuna on pizza, and he only has 4 cheese on pizza. I prefer pineapple over both of those things. We're going to go to a break. Welcome back to the casting couch, as I like to call it. I figured I had my space over here. Those two are the creamy bears. I would get a little creamy on my own over here.
And with my alternate reality as a porn director, I really framed this shot.
You actually posed me in this shot as well. You told me to unbutton my pants, so I did.
Yeah, that's the power that I have.
It's a very confident, comfortable feeling we've got going on.
With the hat on, and like the bald guy with the hat, very American. He does look like a porn director, straight up. I could see him doing a POV right now. Sunglasses as well.
A mustache on top of everything.
Yeah, that would really work.
That's a look.
Dear me. Okay. Interestingly, we actually are going to call this segment the casting call, so the casting couch was appropriate. This is one that like people message us all the time, like, oh, I wish you could cast my whole life. Oh. Like they wake up in the morning and they just have Anders going, "Are you kidding me?" when they have their morning pee, because
so much pee.
Yes, so much pee. That's exactly it. So who would you have shoutcast your life? Can be an active caster, can be an old retired caster, can be a sports caster, can be someone who's not a caster that you think maybe would just be funny in that regard. So I'm gonna, we're all yours.
My initial
not all at once.
I'm just waiting.
My initial thought when you started running through that was Red Eye, because I just think that'd be funny. My second thought,
I'll tell you what happens.
My second thought was Scoots, just because when you have like. It is the funniest story. Everyone's told it a million times, that thing with Richard and Cluj. But you just know when you're having like one of those bad days and you're really struggling and you just need a little bit of motivation, just to have Scoots behind you, just be like, get the fuck out of my industry. Like that's just what you need sometimes.
Get out of bed.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Scoots would be. He's very
just at your lowest moment. Scoots is never going to give you anything but tough love.
He's not super hype either, so it'd be like livable. It's not like someone's going to be yelling at you the whole time.
That or you obviously have like Banks. So as you're just walking around town, and you just hear behind you like, "Wow, would you look at that?
Would you
look at that?"
Can I just say, look at the way
he doesn't even do that anymore, but
it's
just so funny.
On your side when it goes to that camera, I look so cross-eyed. That is a porn face if I've ever seen one. Oh my! All right, leave me alone, Anders.
I just
it's
making it worse.
Oh my!
Not bad.
Banks would be interesting.
Would you look at that?
Yeah. Would you look at? I'm gonna Anders. Who do you think would cast your life?
I mean, I think for the most hype, I guess I don't know if you technically would qualify as a caster, but for me, it'd probably be like Bruce Buffer. To have him,
Bruce Buffer, jog my memory.
UFC.
Okay. I don't watch a whole lot.
Are you
of
ready
UFC,
to rumble?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's his brother, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
On the boxing side, okay. No. Bruce is, it's time.
Oh, that's him. All right.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
What's his brother's name?
Why can't I remember? I should probably know, but
I always thought that was Bruce.
Dan. Bruce and Dan.
Steve.
I probably know, but I just right now it's just
okay.
Too
Yeah.
But no. He does like all the intros. I don't really know like a lot about sportscasting, but I do watch a lot of UFC, and every time we get to that part, I always listen and pay attention and try and figure out like how does he build it? Like what's the build up? Like it's really cool.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing. Otherwise, I think having Dan do it would be it for me, because I would because it would go way off topic with Dan. You would
everywhere.
Yeah, it'd just be every little thing that you did. It would be a 10-minute story off in some direction, and then eventually you'd come back to whatever you were doing. I think you'd get a lot out of that, like a lot of weird info that you maybe didn't need, but it was still at the end of it, was still worth it. So I could see having Dan following around. That would be great. I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
I feel like Henry knows me so well that he would just roast me at every chance he got.
Yeah.
And Henry could do it. He's very analytical. He's gotten the play-by-play down now. He's killing it in the play-by-play.
He's getting there, isn't he?
Probably better than me play-by-play by now. Let's be honest. He would be a nomination on that one. Away from sports, I would go Murray Walker. Legendary Formula One commentator.
I was going to say this is going to be a racing thing.
Yeah, but he used to make like the Murrayisms. Like he went up to like I think it was Ron Dennis once. He was like, "Tell me about like the decision you made to buy Williams," and he was like, "I didn't buy Williams." Like he would just make really bad, obvious mistakes in interviews and stuff. So like throughout the day, you get a bunch of Murrayisms, and he just has an incredible voice for hype. So he would be a lot of fun. He can make anything sound exciting.
What about Babam?
No thanks. I mean, he would be fun, but I would end my
How long
life
do you think you could last?
Yeah, exactly. If he was beside me, crazy, incredible. I'd be like, all right, dude, I'm done.
Just like an hour.
I'm out.
You're like,
yeah.
I'm done.
But I think I'm gonna give you an esports one because I think that's appropriate and it's necessary. Tosspot maybe would be a lot of fun.
Sensational. Okay.
Sensational. It is. Yeah.
It's a good shout.
He would be kind of cool. He'd be a throwback.
I think Henry was good because I think Henry cracks me up when he does like his oh dears.
Yeah.
His little random comments. Like you'd like drop a bowl of cereal and be like, oh dear.
What a blunder. Why has he done that?
That would just be kind of funny to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm assuming other people can hear this casting and it's not just in your head, right? He's literally following you around as the concept.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just.
Can we get clarification? I think it's from the producer. They're following us around, right? Like they're literally there in third person. Yeah.
So then I think an honorable mention would have to go to having Duncan follow you around. I mean, you would end up being disbarred from a bunch of different places, but it would be probably be worth it at the end. Like
he would definitely get you kicked out.
Yeah,
maybe of Poland, for example.
It makes some things really difficult, but
yeah,
but it'd be great.
As a guy who's spent a lot of time in a green room with just me, Duncan, and Richard,
we need to bring that back.
I don't know if you realize what kind of a fresh hell you're speaking of.
Listen,
do you want to go down that road, Jason?
I really want that back.
4 days a week, 10 hours a day, just the three of us, and I'm just sat there.
It was in Atlanta.
It was fascinating when you were not the focal point of the conversation, but as soon as
yeah, they wreck you. Those two guys together. I used to
when we got to the major in Atlanta, I was just in headphones in the green room. I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone.
I will say that I miss green rooms with those two because some of the comedy routes they went on were like, I've never even thought of that. Like, oh my god, how have we gotten here? But you're right. When they choose to make you the target of it, it's oh Jesus, I'm out. Like
my memory of those green rooms were completely different, Moses. I thought it was amazing. I really had a great time.
You're an asshole. Complete asshole.
Never sticks up for his friend Anders. He's the guy.
Anders would come back and just see me, and he would just know I just looked miserable, and he would just smile, and he would just start laughing. He's like, "Oh, it's one of those days." And I'm like,
It was funny, wasn't it?
So if they were casting, this is going to be a segue. It's going to be a cheesy one, but I'm going to do it.
Okay.
They would take. They would have to be there in the morning. morning routines? Do you guys have any before like a day of casting, a day of like at events? Food that you like to eat? Coffee obviously is usually a big one for everyone. That's not that crazy.
A lot of coffee.
Taking aspirin immediately because I'm hungover usually. That's part of my daily routine.
Basically a tradition.
Yeah, exactly. I go through a lot of aspirin. I don't know. What else do you guys have?
Do you I mean,
See that smile on your face? I know exactly what you're doing.
You do the triple S for sure.
Takes that 30-minute shower.
No, actually, so when it comes to shower, I usually try and set it as hot as I can stand, and then I sort of I stand in it for a while, and then I sort of like get sort of really hot, and then I switch it all the way to the cold, like straight up, no increments, just right there. So that's usually what I try and do. To try.
You are a big proponent of the health benefits of the cold shower.
I think. Yeah. I will say when I'm like really hungover some days, a lukewarm to cold shower just snaps you right out of it. Yeah, and what I really want to do if I knew anything about building anything is I would want to sort of build like a sort of like a steam cabin in my shower. Like I'd want to be able to sit in there for like
steam room.
Yeah, like a steam room. I want to be able to sit in there for like half an hour and then go into the cold and then
you can hire people to build those.
Yeah, it's probably true, isn't it? But I mean.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like I should learn something.
See,
but we're not even done yet. So
apologies.
So that would be the first part of the routine. Then we would come to all of the weird supplements that I've started. I've become one of those people that has like
you already are injecting yourself with things you know nothing about.
Exactly. just different health supplements that that I'm trying out to see what works and what doesn't. So
Jason was not far off at all. Then
no. Like it was.
Anders
has
like
close.
a list of I guess vitamins you could call them that are just like he's like, oh, Reddit user Horseface796 recommended I eat 3 of these with breakfast, so let's try that out for a month.
Listen, how else are you going to know, right? It's an interesting one person experiment.
Matt knows this story very well. I have a horror story of the cold shower.
Oh,
do you want to tell it again?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been told publicly. It's nothing crazy, but it is just like if you ever want to know the misery that we have to go through at times. I remember it was last year when we did Australia, when we did Sydney. I am Sydney. And I forcefully I had my flights booked through Delta, which is the airline I go on our Sky team. And the funny thing about it is you go from Sydney to Abu Dhabi, and then I had to go to Amsterdam and then go to Dusseldorf. And
oh yeah.
And that's because I did that so I could get Sky Team for the miles. And Chad was on my flight from Sydney to Abu Dhabi, and then he had a flight directly to Dusseldorf that I could have easily hopped on. It would have cut like 6 hours of my travel time. Anyways, I'm an idiot. I didn't think about it that much. I wanted the miles. I wanted the
you want the point.
I wanted the status.
Put it this way: I left Denmark 2 days ago to fly to Canada to fly back here because I needed miles.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Whatever.
Anyways, at the end of like a 28-hour journey home, I am just like miserable. And we had to go into the studio that night. So by the time I got back to the apartment I was staying in Cologne, I had about an hour and a half before I had to leave again after this 28-hour journey from Australia to go into the studio to do like a 6-hour broadcast for online Counter-Strike. Yeah. That's the dream. That's the dream you all want to work and don't do it. And I remember getting back to the apartment building, and for whatever reason in our building, the landlord had just shut off, or someone had shut off the hot water to like just my apartment. So I get back, and the only thing you want to do after that much travel is like, let me just take a shower, wash all of this off of me, turn it on, it's ice cold. I'm like, oh, I'll give it a minute. I go back and check, and it's still ice cold, and I'm like, oh dear, oh no. And it's just, I hop in the shower, and it's so cold. I don't even think I showered. I just got like a towel wet and just wiped myself off. But it was like that for a week, and I couldn't get in touch with the landlady.
But here's you want to know the best part of this. It was like this for a week, and the reason he says I know this story well is because we happen to be in the same building for our Airbnb. Yeah. And Jason, it was like a split stairwell, 2 apartments on every floor. I was 2nd floor here. Jason was 3rd floor here. I had hot water the whole time. If he wanted to, he could have easily asked me.
It was at the end of the week. I'd have like enough. I was like, Matt, hey, can I please use your shower?
but if I'd known, like it didn't occur to me that there was no water in his unit because I had it the whole time, and he could have easily just walked downstairs, gone back up in a towel. No one would have seen him.
Listen, I was hoping just magically it would fix itself.
That's
how I approach solving all the problems I have in life, which is why I've ended up here in esports.
Well, there you go.
And the universe obviously has a different plan for you anyway, so That's what I find funny.
Universe doesn't seem to like me very much.
No,
what have I done to piss something off?
I don't know, but once I realized that was sort of your place in the universe, I've just been...
Yeah, you've taken a sick pleasure in that.
Enjoying it. It is funny. Like, I can't lie. It's funny.
That was, by the way, that slog was like coming back from Sydney last year and going straight back onto the Pro League broadcast.
Oh,
I still want to go back and watch it at some point because...
We're probably so stupid.
Well, I was so tired that I was walking around while casting to try and keep myself awake. And there was one point where I literally fell asleep standing up during a mid-sentence, and I snapped out of it, looked at the TV, and went, right, I'm casting a game. And no one said anything, but I have no idea what I was talking about for that 30 seconds. Like, I had no clue the words that came out of my mouth.
I think I've fallen asleep briefly during a cast before.
I've done it in PGL. Henry's like, it was really hot in the first studio in PGL, and they didn't have windows.
Nice and warm.
It got so stuffy, and we did NA plus EU back then, and we just thought that was normal. Now we get really angry about that. But back then we were like, whatever. And Henry used to look over me and I'd just be going, and he'd have to hit me. Like, he'd be like,
one of the say something.
Yeah.
One of the few times I've ever had, not from sleep deprivation, but from this is like in 2013 when we'd finished like the DreamHack Winter event or something, and I remember they came up to me afterwards and they said, well, Telia wants to do like a 2-on-2 tournament, and they don't have anyone casting it. Do you want to come do it? And we just finished. I think at that point we had basically, that was a 15-hour day to get to that one. They were like, do you want to do the 2-on-2 tournament? We've got Heat in there, and it's going to be just you and Emil talking about the 2-on-2 tournament. And I was so excited because that was my first big event. So I was like, of course I want to do it. Like, it doesn't matter that it's already been 15 hours. I'm just going to keep doing it. And when we got there, for some reason the headset was. Basically, I couldn't hear what he was saying, and he couldn't hear what I was saying. There's like absolutely nothing to do. So I would say something about the game, and I would look at him, and obviously, in DreamHack, it's going to be like one of those large halls, so you can't hear anything anyway. And I could see his mouth moving, and I had no idea what he said. And so every time I would just say, yeah, that's interesting. And now look at, I would just kind of like, have no communication with him, and I'm assuming he couldn't hear me either. And I remember afterwards, a lot of people were sort of messaging me saying, man, that was really great what you guys were doing. Like, that was one of the best, times of the tournament. I have no idea how that works. Like,
did you ever go back and watch it?
No, I don't think I ever will, because it was just so
Somebody
weird.
Find that URL and
really.
Put it on Twitter.
No, don't do that.
No idea what you're saying to each other.
I want to see
it. It is funny how like tournament conditions have changed. Like, I remember tournaments. Even when I do some sim stuff now, like, I can see the differences. Like, I did a sim thing in Paris where I literally just had the French broadcast in my ear the whole time that I was doing the English broadcast, and they couldn't fix it until the end. We've done like Star Ladders where they'll be communicating in the production room and like Ukrainian yelling in Ukrainian.
Yeah, and you're listening to Ukrainian while you're talking.
And I'm like, Henry, I can't hear you because all I hear is some producer yelling and screaming about switching camera angles. I assume like
epicenter with Russia that happens once in a while. Where you're just like, oh, I have a Russian voice inside of my brain.
Yeah, well, there's the clip as well, like with me and Henry, where they just randomly show the Russians on the screen. I'm like, wow, Russians! Like, there's crossed wires. But it's funny how far we've come because like now we get to like a blast event where it's like all at once. We've got 3 games going on at a time. We've got 3 sets of casters, and it just runs smoothly. Like, it's so much better now.
Figured it out. We've cracked it all.
Let's not go too far.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
we haven't figured anything
Celebrating.
We think we have. Some clever people in the back rooms have. We just kind of go with it.
Yeah.
What was the topic of this conversation to begin with?
Who would cast your life?
Oh, right. Did we all say?
Yeah, we.
All right.
Jesus Christ, man. You really have to stop taking those supplements.
That's unreal.
My lead supplement. Oh, it's great.
Maybe that's time to just cut it right there. We're just going to call it.
Yeah.
The casters are calling it. We're tapping out.
Don't eat lead.
Are we done? Are we coming back?
We're gonna rotate out, I think. So there's gonna be kind of everyone coming through. Alex is here this time, so he'll probably jump in at some point. Launders, Scrawny. We got some players coming in this time as well. That'll have some fun with people at the later segments.
I talked with Get Right and Xpeka at the last one.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't. I talked to Chad and Henry, which was not as exciting, but that's fine.
It's not like you
don't
ever
talk
get to
them
talk to them.
Exactly. I never get a chance to speak to those guys, really. I don't know that Henry's going to be here today, just to put a stipulation on that. I think he's quite sick, so I've got to...
Feeling a bit under the weather.
He is. I think he's never had strep throat in his life, and he was asking me the symptoms last night. I think he might have a slight bout of strep that I've... Because I'm
went to a doctor.
I'm going to go check his gland. Oh, I had strep so much, it's really easy to diagnose.
It's a bacteria, right?
It's a virus. I don't know if it's an infection or
I've
not.
got the supplement.
But it's not.
I can. Henry, I'll save you.
You absolute rat.
Yeah.
That is unreal. Again, we're going to wrap it up now. Anders,
Yeah.
thank you so much for pushing your propaganda. Hashtag blast backstage to get, I mean, look, we're leaving the couch, but you can still interact with us and everyone that's coming on. Get your tweets at the bottom of the screen. We can have a lot of fun. We'll see you, I guess, from our perspective tomorrow when we get started, but we'll see you in a minute with some new people on these couches.
God forgives, Taco doesn't.
I'm the host, Alex. I don't want you getting in charge of this nonsense by any means. I'm taking my shoes off. I'm going to get comfortable.
Wait, I feel like I'm doing a cardinal sin with my microphone on the wrong side.
You can fix it. I'll allow it.
Okay, this is like Broadcast 101.
And mic cables as well. If I see any mic cables...
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
That works.
You're
Oh, wait. Oh, he's fixing it for me.
I can come back this way, actually.
There we go.
Just so we can see you.
Now I'm a professional.
Okay, so this wasn't what I expected when I wanted Maniac to work out why I've lost my mind, but this will do.
This is a sofa. That's how it might work.
And it segues perfectly into our first topic.
Sofas.
See how I nailed that? I learned from the best. We're doing, the first one's respawn, so I believe the concept of this is what you would have been doing if you weren't a either professional Counter-Strike player turned analyst or best host in the business.
Can I answer Maniacs for him?
Well,
Yes.
He
give
would
it
be
try.
a professional DJ. Slaying
we
the
spoke
night
about this.
away in Ibiza.
Guilty.
His pupils would be like dinner plates, and he'd just be doing backflips into pools.
Well, let's
That's what he'd be
do
doing.
this. Let's delve into your, because while you were playing, you were also doing other professional things outside of just Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
But let's start with those, and then you can say what you would have been doing.
So am I supposed to make like a list like of things I've
You
done?
don't have to do all
But
of
I
them.
mean, let's start with the DJ because
Yeah,
that's a
talk to
topic,
me,
right?
'cause
So
I don't know all of this.
what happened was when I was doing my bachelor in Lausanne, obviously money was a little bit low, and a cousin of mine was working in a club in Lausanne. It was a really great club. Introduced me there. I used to like turning tables and stuff. Introduced me, and I became what we call a resident. So I would turn table 4 or 5 nights a month.
Okay.
Make some money. Plus size is you never pay anything when you go to that club.
Of course.
So for 3 years, I have a club. I could go there, never pay anything.
Free drinks.
Exactly.
But the biggest question here is, what was your go-to track that got the dance floor lit?
Well, the thing is, I used to like electro kind of music,
Okay.
house style, but it was an all-style club, so I had to
So no
I had
Katy
to
Perry.
please everyone. It's the type of club where people come to you and say, "Can you play Despacito?"
Oh, and you do
And
it.
like, I kind of have to,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do it once for you. So that was the all-style club.
I got an experience similar to that.
Oh yeah.
At an after party, I was DJing for Counter-Strike players.
Oh, you.
Was this a Spotify one?
No, well, I say DJing as in they put my phone and an aux cable in my hand.
Ah.
And I experienced that. How irritating is it? I had like Tarek and Stewie going like, oh, play Drake this one. I had like 12 Drake and different.
That's the best Stewie and Tarek combo.
Yeah, I don't know
impression
why
I've
they're kind
seen.
of cockney children.
Yeah.
But that's the best I've got. Sorry.
It's part of the job. It's fun, but that's a part of the job. But yeah, electro, that was my type.
Okay, so then
Thank you.
moving forward from the DJ sets, you just mentioned The Bachelor. Is that where you would have seen yourself being a professional in that line of work? And for the viewers at home, enlighten them.
Well, obviously, psychology was always something that interests me a lot. And if you rewind back in time, the future of Counter-Strike and esports in general was, to me, a question mark. Like, I didn't really know, is it something that's going to become really permanent or not? So I always wanted to have, like, an educational background. I did psychology, and when I was doing my master degree and playing in Titan at the same time,
What happened when you were playing in Titan in Cologne in 2015?
All right, so
that
I
guy
leave, I'm
beat
gonna get
me
out.
once, and I'm going to make it public now, okay? He beat me once, and
What,
we lost against
Dad?
Renegade.
What?
That happens. But no, I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
You know, you can have it. You can have
Let
that
him
one.
have that
we
one.
Can, I don't want to go
It's
into, like,
literally, it's keeping him alive,
I'm
Maniac.
fine. I'm fine giving him. It's okay.
It's
No
his
comment.
life.
Anyway. So yeah, during that you were doing your bachelor's.
My master when I was
Masters.
Titan. Master in work psychology. And what happened is that a professor at the university basically approached me to work for his cabinet. So I worked for him 50%. I was doing Titan, and I was doing my study, which was probably 200 hours a week, if that's impossible.
Bloody Nora.
And so that would probably be what I would do right now. It was work psychologist, so it's like you being a consultant. A company comes to you and says, look, we would like our worker to feel better, feel less stressed, communicate better. Any issues that you can have in an organization, then we would come,
Therapy.
have something to offer them. This is the tools you can use. This is what we can, type of exercise we can do. So that would be probably where I would be right now if CS didn't didn't exist.
Would
What about you?
Well, I think that Alex would be a graphic design wizard.
Ooh.
A graphic design wizard.
Wasn't that what you were doing?
It's close enough, yeah.
That's
I was
close.
doing post-production, so like video editing.
Okay.
That's my kind of forte.
Is that what you would see yourself doing if you didn't become the best host in esports history?
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it. Flattery will get you far. But I don't know. I think I was definitely pursuing it, but the whole course I did at university was because it was deliberately wide and vague because I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So I did something which would do everything. So I learned from like rigging lights and cameras to actually vision mixing, like all of the stuff that you do behind the scenes of the shows we do now. And I was learning that. I had a particular penchant for
A what?
A penchant.
un penchant.
I like that.
En français.
Un penchant.
Parler? Non?
Oui.
Oui.
Oui, oui. I liked doing post-production the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what you'd be doing now if you didn't do esports?
I think I'd be dead in a ditch if I wasn't doing these.
Is it okay if I offer bad life advice to all the viewers?
Don't. Yes.
No, it's good life. Well, it's actually great life advice.
Okay.
I don't know. You guys can agree. Let's have a committee
Okay, talk
here.
to me.
My view on this, because we grew up in the generation, I'm sure it would have been the same for you during high school as it was for me, that the push was that you have to go to university. That was the push.
Yeah, for
basically
sure,
was
for
you have to
sure.
go to. That is terrible advice because you should finish high school. Finish high school, get that out of the way, get your secondary school education out of the way. But then we live in a world where we have the internet.
Yes.
You can do whatever you enjoy. And you can make money. Not everybody can. Some people obviously have to do other jobs, but you should chase your dream.
So are you
Just
going to
finish
get
high school
you're
and be
going to
nice
get
to
two
your mum.
very different point of views here, I imagine, because you have someone here who has been an academic for most of your life, and someone here who didn't the school system wasn't necessarily good for me.
I mean, I agree what you say to an extent. For example, between my bachelor and my master, I took a year off. I decided, no, this is it. I need a year to figure out what I want to do, because in general, bachelor's study will always be very broad. It's not, it doesn't really prepare you for a job. Then you have to make a choice for the master. So I had no idea what I would do. So I took a year. I played some Counter-Strike, make some turning
Made some
tables
money, lost
here
to
and there,
Australian,
lost to a guy in there on the couch.
Yeah.
No, but I agree. I think there is a lot of pressure on people to know what they want to do very fast in their life. I think that's the tricky part, is figuring out when you're 18 or 19, say, this is what I want to do. And in that sense, I think you should not be scared to go away from the usual model of school, into high school, into university, into working. Like, life can work in a different way, and it's fine. I mean, look at us, the lives we've had now, from player to psychologist to coach to analyst to player to analyst again. It doesn't really matter. Like, there's not one way in life, as long as you're happy and you're motivated by what you do.
Yeah.
I
I think my biggest takeaway from my university and doing this completely by chance / lucky esports career, I think it's the emphasis should be on work experience more than anything else. Because I swear to God, work is such a mythical creature for you when you grow up, right? Parents do something, they disappear, and then the mortgage gets paid. And that's kind of it. Maybe you do a one trip where you're like, oh wow, so you get tea all the time, and oh cool, there's a canteen. That's pretty much all you're learning at that point. I actually think working and doing activities, because you have the work relationships, you understand hierarchy, you understand all of this nonsense that you're going to need for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
I think that's I would say go do that. Like your year out, something like that. I think is so much more valuable than a year of copying someone else's things just enough that it gets under a percentage.
Sure. And look, I have to say we have a tweet that's about to come up on screen.
Okay.
Ooh.
From the social medias. Most difficult part of hosting the desk or just being on the desk in general.
Ooh.
Alex, what's the hardest
most difficult part of hosting on a desk? Most difficult.
Let's.
I can think. I mean, one thing I think a lot of people don't realize is that when you're hosting, you are spinning multiple plates at the same time. Like, so the things you have to get right is there is a production in your ear at all times, and they have an idea of, it's like, I am not controlling the show. I don't start the game. I don't do anything. I am simply the puppet by which they communicate. And so I will tell, I have 3 things going on. I'm thinking about what our analysts want to say. I'm thinking about what we've said so far. I'm thinking about what's to come. I'm thinking about how long we have. And then I have the producer in my ear who decides he wants to do something. And then I need to not only shut you up in a nice way, I also have to get back out of that and return us to some strain of nonsense.
While maintaining the conversation in your head.
And making eye contact.
Yes. And
I could host so much better if I was just staring at my laptop the whole time.
I think what a lot of people don't realize what we do in Counter-Strike compared to probably a lot of other titles out there with little mythical creatures and casting spells is we do a lot more games in a day. We also have a lot more players to deal with because we're not syndicated by any means.
Yeah.
And we also do everything ad lib.
I do, yeah, and I think a lot of people are surprised by that. Not necessarily viewers, but those that are less, less understanding of esports. When they come over, they're like, "Wait, so you guys just spoke for 25 minutes? Where did that come from?" But
So
I think the best answer will come from you, Maniac, because you've only recently been actually doing more and more desks. What is the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, I think...
what surprised you, I think, is a better question.
Well, what was really surprising for me is to realize that being at the desk, being an analyst, is far, far more than just knowing Counter-Strike.
Yep.
Because I never really, it might sound a little bit, I don't know,
No,
it sounds bad to say, but
I'm
very confident in my ability to analyze Counter-Strike. Like, understand what's happening in the game.
Your perception of what's happening.
I'm confident in that.
Sure.
But then it's a different story to say it at the desk, be part of a conversation, have the flow going, you know, and be really like a broadcaster. So for me, realizing that it is just not talking about Counter-Strike, but it's a job with qualities that you develop over time. I mean, it's an interesting challenge, but it was a little bit of a surprise. And the other thing is to be able to go with the flow when something unexpected happens. To me, that's the biggest part. Like people like Chad or you have like years of experience now. Something happens that's not supposed to happen, you go with it. You know how to, you know.
Or when you see my hand gestures when the camera's on you and I just go.
Yeah. So
Phil,
to me,
please,
it's like
God.
If we have how it's supposed to happen and just we go with it, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But then if something unexpected happens, I'm like, okay, how do I react to that? How do I go with it?
Yeah.
I think that comes with experience, and it's probably the most difficult part for me.
Good question, Dom. I don't know which
So
one's
we've got
that.
some good ones coming in. If we want to get more questions coming our way, though, boys, get your cellular telephone devices out.
Tweet us with
And
the hashtag.
hashtag blast backstage.
That's BLAST.
I'm going to be sending a little retweet out into the Twitter sphere right now, so people can know where to find us.
I would do the
Do you
same.
think I can? Do you want to share that one? Can I have that one?
It's all yours, darling.
It's all mine? All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are by any means, but we are going to take a quick break. So tweet us your questions and stuff. We'll get the social media activation going, and we'll be back shortly with the next topic. So don't go anywhere, or you can go somewhere.
But come back.
They can make sure they come back.
Make sure you're keeping one ear on us.
Yeah.
We're back. All right. I hope you didn't go too far, and I hope you're back with us.
How do you feel about them being able to watch us while we're AFK?
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think it's nice. I wish there was a camera crew following me everywhere.
Was it what Truman Show was that?
Yeah.
Truman Show.
Yeah.
Spoilers, dude. Spoilers.
Man.
I think you
Like
learn
25 years
you learn
old.
you learn the concept of that movie pretty quick, right?
Yeah, but like the first 20 minutes are just completely ruined now.
I think the first time I saw the movie, I didn't really understand what was happening. I
No?
was way younger. Then I
fair
watched
enough.
it again, and I realized, wait, there's a different story to the story. I think.
Dude, I was watching it recently with my girlfriend, and it took her far too long to realize what was happening.
Oh dear.
Like the lights are falling from the sky, and she's like, "What was that?"
And also, Harry Potter has to die to kill Voldemort. So hashtag spoilers. We're gonna get stuck into the next one, which is a nice one. It's a fun one.
Okay.
Because we are coming towards the end of 2018. It has been a very quick year. It feels like yesterday we were all kicking this bad boy off. But what are your highs and lows? We'll start with the lows, and we'll start at the end of the couch, and we'll work this way.
My low points. I think when I was doing the 8 weeks of multiple different events, where I did like.
Is this before when I sat on the hotel bed to you reading out your schedule and broke your mind a little bit?
That was a different time.
Okay.
That was a different time. I did nearly cry there.
That was pretty bad.
The other one, it was when it was like when TI, the Major, Stockholm, there was all like this long 8-week stint where I had one suitcase. And it was the TI Grand Finals. This is where I broke. TI Grand Finals. I'm in Vancouver, and I haven't got a single clean item of clothing.
Oh, dear.
You know, like I can't pull a red eye where I'm like fully suited and booted. I've got like shiny shoes. I'm sitting there with like trainers I could probably get away with, and I've worn this shirt before, and I can tell.
You can smell it.
I can tell, yeah. And I was sitting there like, this is just not how a human should live life. I should have come into this fresh, and I'm getting better at it now. I've worked it out.
Okay.
I've solved the formula. Hotel laundry and throw it on the invoice.
Yep. Oh, on the invoice.
That's a new trick.
How it works.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't mind that one. I'll give that one.
Yeah, but that's my low point, and high point probably has to be I don't even know. I'll think about that one. We'll do.
We'll do all the lows,
Yeah.
and then
We do
we'll
the lows
do the
first.
highs.
Yeah.
All right. I guess my low would be existence being removed from LDLC when I was still playing. That has to be the low point, because at that point I was still very motivated and invested in playing Counter-Strike, and then they removed him against my advice, and I was
So you kind of felt powerless.
well, I wasn't really powerless. I was more in a position where if I said, if you remove him, I'm leaving, then that's probably the end of the team. And I didn't want that. So I said, fine, against my advice, you want to do it, I'm going to play a little bit more. Turned out that was a bad idea. My motivation just disappeared after that. But that would definitely be the low point for me.
Okay, and the high point was obviously winning ESL Meisterschaft.
That was one of the high points. I won
Isn't that a German tournament?
Yeah,
So
well, he counts.
I'm
like
national
me.
German champion. I also won the Swiss championship while being retired. I still have a 100% win rate being retired. So that's fine.
Wow.
Pretty nice.
Can we eat these, by the way?
I think
Okay,
so.
yeah, cool.
They're Portuguese, so go nuts.
I haven't had breakfast.
I think my low point was sitting on the floor of the shower at the face that made you crying. We got real dark there.
Wow,
don't we?
That
yeah.
was really
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like my low point, but there was lots of factors.
I don't really know about sitting down in the shower. I mean,
It was
not to
there was a lot of
cover-
sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
But
do that in my apartment now.
Can you walk me
I
through
have
the process? So you're standing up to turn the shower on.
yeah,
Right. It's on.
yeah.
Are we lathering pre
No,
sit?
no. This is intentional, just because I'm self-loathing at this point in life.
So okay, so it's an immediate on and then like kind of a whimpering squat.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
I understand.
makeup on,
Oh.
yeah.
Chad.
middle of the day. That was fun.
But things are better now.
Yeah, things are much better now.
Yeah.
that's
Hi,
pretty
what's your high point?
I don't know if I can pick just one high point. I had a lot of fun this year. This year was great. IEM Sydney, the caches, like that kind of crowd. It's nice.
Yeah.
This is
I just heard,
this is
like,
Alex's.
someone's-
We found Alex's
Ooh.
high point.
This is amazing.
This is Alex's high point. I think the caches probably.
really good.
Like that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We did almost all die, but it was a lot of fun.
It was kind of your brainchild as well, alongside you and Henry.
Yeah,
Pushing that.
you know. So that was a good one. That was a good one.
I want to say that the high point for me is now,
Okay.
because when I accepted my first gig as an analyst, I had no idea like would I be good at it.
Sure.
Would people want to hire me again? So I've had this period of time where after each event I'll a little bit be stressed out, like am I gonna get another one? And right now I feel like I'm in the zone where yes, like people keep asking me to do it, so I must do something right. So this is the high point. Like I feel like I found something I can do. I really enjoy
And you
doing
can do it
myself.
well.
Apparently I can do it to a decent level people are happy with. So this is the high point. Like I found something I'm very comfortable in. I enjoy it very much. I think also just the broadcast guys, you guys in general, have been really nice welcoming me.
Just
into
don't
that
do it all the
group.
time like us. Whatever you do,
No.
don't do it.
Don't
He's,
like
living,
you.
he's living the dream, man. He's nailing it.
If you do it
Bit
like,
of work, bit of play.
I think you age about 10 years in the space of one. If you do it
Yeah.
like we.
I don't want to age 10 years more. That would be dangerous.
I think
for
I'm
me.
putting on at least 2 kilos for every year I spend in esports.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you keeping track?
I mean,
2050. Watch out.
All right, and your high point, Alex.
My high point, I mean, there's lots of them, isn't there? That's the problem.
Yeah, well, I
that's
went
a good sign.
Yeah.
I went with one that I don't know if it stood out more than the rest, but
What did you go for
I
again?
went for the caches. But that's
That was
obviously I'm
nice.
being a little bit nationalistic.
Oh, I did love, but IEM Sydney in general was a fantastic event. It would be hard not to say the major.
What about TI?
Yeah, that was an incredible experience, but it's also like the most exhausting event
Sure.
I've ever worked because they
So long
they
as
work
well.
you hard and
Yeah.
it's long. I was doing the group stage on my own and stuff. So whilst it was incredible to be a part of it and to do it, I think it wasn't so much like a high point as much as it was hard work.
Sure.
But a major, just because I hadn't done a major. I had not done a major since I went freelance. And one of the things I was worried about was like leaving ESL was like it's no longer an
Yeah, it's
invite.
on you now.
It's all on me. And then I didn't get one. And then we had a bit of a mess up, PGL and our communications, and it was too late. And I didn't do that one. And then I didn't do the other one because of E-League. And then finally, Face It Major, I was back. I did my first major event. It was in London. The crowd were chanting Smooya. I was kind of sitting there like, holy hell. Like,
Yeah.
it was a good major
That's
to
good
do,
vibe.
my first one. Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, we're going to whack another tweet up on the screen.
Okie
I don't
dokie.
know anything about this one, so this will be a surprise to everybody playing at home. The relationship between analyst and host purely professional. Are you guys all friends? Alex and myself
We
have
don't
spent
make eye contact.
many a nights in one another's hotel rooms for fun. And not that kind of fun.
Chad, can we just
I just like it, just fun.
can I take it from here, Chad?
Yeah, you can. I was going to see how interesting I could make that.
Yeah.
But like Henry's there as well.
Henry comes over too. Sometimes if you really want to spice it up,
Yanko does
makes
come
an
in.
appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a sandwich.
There was a good sandwich.
That was a great
Copenhagen.
sandwich.
We had that's not a story.
No,
is it,
we
really?
spend a lot of time with each other.
Yes.
We're in each other's pockets all the time, and what you learn about one another, you learn when someone's upset or annoyed about something. Like, if we want to order food and go out somewhere, I know everybody's preferences. I know, well, Alex isn't so big on seafood, so, you know, we got to, and, well, Henry, he doesn't really like pork, so
Yeah, so
I
we
got to
do
make
that,
sure.
yeah.
Well, Yanko does enjoy a good steak and a red wine.
And the answer is we always go for steak and red wine.
Usually steak and red wine, yeah.
Yeah, usually.
But we definitely are friends, right? Because
Oh yeah, for sure.
You have to be.
But I think think about how much time we spend together. If you just put it in a human perspective, I spend 300 plus days in a small green room or at an event with these people. So it's just, they are I'd consider them some of my closest friends because I genuinely spend most of my time either on a plane or hanging out with them. And if we didn't like each other, I think we'd all be insane by now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also it shows on the broadcast, right? When you're comfortable with someone on the
Absolutely,
desk,
yeah,
it's
for
not
sure.
just about talking games. Like, we're a bunch of friends talking about something. And yeah, for me, I'm very short experience in that. Definitely friends.
And you said
very
we're
lovely.
welcoming?
Yes. I felt
doing
you
good.
You were very welcoming with me, accepting me in this group. So my experience, yes, very
Yeah,
friendly.
you should hear the things Chad says behind your back, though.
I want to know.
I
Let's
know.
not do that on camera now.
It's
This
just outrageous.
Me breaking
Yeah.
down.
Something about this woolen number he wasn't a fan of.
Tried something, right?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, just ignore him. But we are friends, wouldn't you say, Chad?
Yes, and I'm the bad guy of the group. I'm the antagonist.
But just a final point on that, because Mandeep asked a good question, is also we, you know how you hinted that we understand each other? I genuinely think we have this like sisterly thing now where we understand everyone's mood within 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like I'll walk into the green room, I'll see Chad's hood up, and I'll go, "Hey man, how you doing? Good morning." He'll give me a, "You right?" And I'm like, "Okay, today's the day we don't talk to Chad." And you know what? Everyone has that. Everyone understands.
And I think everybody as well, when they're in a bad mood, they don't take it out on other people. You know,
No.
they put the headphones.
We
in.
internalize.
Yeah,
We internalize our feelings.
that's bad advice.
Don't do that. Talk to people.
We have one more tweet.
'Kay.
Another one.
Cool.
The Twitter sphere is alight. Ooh, Valve
Cam.
makes you lead game designers for the next CS. What do you add?
Oh,
A new version of the
Whoa.
game. Ooh,
I haven't had enough coffee with that question.
What
That's
do
a
you
serious
add?
question.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna let the pros think for a moment because
I was
these
gonna
guys,
say I
yeah,
need 5 minutes.
yeah. So you think I'll
do we
just
add?
I'll just talk nonsense out of my mouth.
Like
as I
add
usually
or remove.
let's
or
let's
change
stay away from
something.
changing. Like
Yeah.
let's stay away from changing
do. What
too
do
much
you
of the
add
core.
to the new version of?
What can we add to enrich the gameplay?
128
Wait,
tick
that's a-
matchmaking?
Do we have like a song that we can play on the stream while we're thinking? Like,
Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun
you
dun.
had it in Counter Strike at the moment.
Can I actually use that as my answer? Lead game designer, right? So that's in it. So I think my answer would genuinely be a full, like, comprehensive with rewards
Matchmaking system.
matchmaking system.
Okay.
All right.
Because I love Counter Strike.
Yeah.
But it's so far behind in encouraging
Casual users.
casual users to play the same way the competitive people do. Do you know how much fun it was when I used to compete, and it wasn't in Counter Strike, but it's the same thing. Is I used to love meeting people like in a pub or making friends through different teams and TeamSpeaks and Ventrilos, whatever it was.
Yep.
And then you decide to team up with each other, or you go on a forum and you make a looking for team thread, and then you like have a trial. You know how cool that is?
Yeah.
Like a 16-year-old, and it's like you join it, you're meeting these people
Palms
for the
are
first
sweaty.
time, and it's like your performance is kind of riding on this best of 3 in this random CG game, and you play and you win like a little virtual trophy. You don't get anything. It's just like a little trophy by your profile name, and you feel fucking great.
And you
man.
put the clan tag in your nickname.
Yeah.
With the trial next to
Yeah,
it.
with
That's very
trial.
important.
Right, precisely.
Trial.
And yeah, and that I think that's lost. And I think in Counter-Strike, if you did do it again, I think that could
You'd wanna
be easily
facilitate
found
that.
again. Yeah,
Yeah.
help it along. Have a team profile. You know, even it could be Steam, whatever it has to be. Just a way that you can show you're looking for a team and join it and compete against other teams of a similar skill group. Imagine how much it would flourish, especially now free to play and all of that good stuff. We could just
Milk it.
blow
Juice it.
up.
No,
But
I
don't
agree.
don't forget that.
You got one?
No, I don't really have something on the top of my head. Like,
I got one.
Go on then.
go
Ready
ahead.
for this one?
Yeah.
Considering Counter-Strike is one of the very few still existing games in the esports realm that is organically driven and has only made it to this point because the community thoroughly enjoyed a game and wasn't forced down our throats, the game and the way the game plays, that's why Valve makes so few changes, right? Because the game,
so good.
it is very good. You have to think about those things. So what I would do is I would base it more around the realms of promoting it in our discipline of esports, right? First, I would do, obviously, of a lead game developer, I would make more initiatives into, this is what I would set first, and then the other things would flow. I'd set a very clear calendar with the majors, right? So they're in June and November every year. Everyone knows that's the cycle. We start the year. That's where the first bit stops. But in those periods of time, that's when we have operations. So Valve are always working at integrating new content for the casual fan base. Now that it's free to play, I guess the incentive is through all the microtransactions. That's kind of where it's always been.
Yeah.
But it would be making it more regimented in that realm, because I think the game itself, I really like where Counter-Strike is at.
Do you see appeal in the seasonal conversation that people throw around? And so for example, you know how in like a MOBA like Dota, people keep coming back to the game because it's constantly changing, right? And I don't think Counter-Strike's going to have the same equivalent ever. But something that's similar, for example, oh, my hero is suddenly the best for this season, right? In Counter-Strike, people talk about a rotating map pool, so it's always fresh. You're always learning. You're always innovating.
Yep.
It's May of 2018 is coming around, which means we're going to be seeing season in the map pool. Let's see how people have been approaching it, how they've been practicing, and that kind of shifting. I know it's so far from what we used to.
I like it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, but the only thing, you're right, we could rotate maps, but I'm just thinking like the beauty of the game also goes into the detail in every map and how precise every team gets.
When was the last time you saw something new on Mirage?
The Mirage is very
Mirage
style
is
at the moment.
Mirage
Okay,
is
is that
the
a
example.
I'm just saying.
But
I get your point.
I agree with what Alex is saying, because if you had an 11 map pool and every season you had 7, you could rotate out 2 to 3 maps, right? And this is the same maps, right? And they can obviously go through little tweaks when they're in the off season. But like right now we have 7. You include Cobble. The version right now I consider bad, but let's say it was a good version. Okay, you have 8. Let's bring Tuscan in. You have 9. You only need to find 2 more maps. We have a lot of people creating them.
Yeah.
You get to a point where we find maps that are competitive and you cycle that. I think that gameplay changes in Counter-Strike should actually come from the map change, because it makes people more creative with what we already have, as opposed to trying to change weapons and change the meta in that way.
And I've seen show matches played on the non-stereotypical 7 maps, and I really enjoy it, because especially when there's a degree of competition on it, you see pros thinking a way they don't have. Like, once you've done a Mirage A take for the 2,500th time, you're not really thinking in the same way you are when you're like, okay,
improvising.
So that's the site. I have 2 flashbangs, and you see like the numbers flying across their eyes.
I played matchmaking with my buddies 2 weeks ago, and we played on Biome.
Okay, yep.
And it was very fun to go through the motions of, this is the map, and midway through the half, we realized this is the key point of the map.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's 6 rounds. We've lost 6 rounds already, but we realized, wait a minute, they get here before us.
Yeah.
This is what we need to control. I think that was very refreshing to have that again. Because as you say, we play a normal map, the timings, okay, they're going to take main and cache, they're going to do that. But you play a new map, you have to go through that again and figure out, wait a minute, I'm fastening him here. There are 2 people left, which means middle.
Actually, that's made of wood. I could probably wallbang that, and I'd get him on.
That's refreshing.
The learning part of
I love it.
I have to interrupt because we could do this for a while, but we do have another tweet before we hit the break, and this one is, since you went to Brazil already, what Portuguese words you guys know? We know vamos,
obrigado.
Obrigado.
That was going to be my thing.
That's all I've got.
That's about it.
Boa noite.
Fuma, I think, is smoking.
Okay.
Because it says like no smoking on the thing.
I have basics in Spanish, so I guess I could cheat some words, but I don't know how many.
No, I'm really bad.
Fumar Spanish.
Yeah, it's very difficult when we go to these places, right? Because you're working a lot and you're not really going out and experiencing too much.
And then probably the most contact you have with locals is fans, and they're speaking English to you. So, GG.
Yeah, we don't really have a lot when it comes to that one. So we'll wrap this one up. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after it with another segment. Maybe we'll try and draw something. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I'm up for it.
Jesus.
All right, welcome back. As you can see where my fingers are pointing, this one is called Casting Call, and it's who would you like to commentate your life? Now, you and I probably have the same answer.
Me.
Potentially. What, you want to commentate your own life?
Yeah.
I was going to say Alex too.
Oh, okay.
But it's not because you're here and I feel forced to do that. It's just I feel like you have... Because I was just thinking, for example, Henry could not cast my life because my life is not interesting enough for him. He has that level of hype, of always hype. My life would not be.
Okay.
I feel like you could build intrigue in the low points, points of my life, and then when it gets insane, you have that possibility,
Maniac,
shout in the microphone.
Stop blowing my mind.
Maniac here looks to be emptying the dishwasher.
See, exactly.
Forks and knives first, progressing into the spoons. He did have dessert last week. You see, I've got you.
See,
I'm
I
hooked.
think you could do that.
Where are the dishwasher taps? He forgot to buy them. This is a problem for the Swiss. You know, I've got you hyped.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck.
All right, I like that.
Excuse my language.
No, you can swear, it's fine.
Can we swear on here?
I guess.
Okay, phew.
I don't know if we can. I'm saying we can, I guess.
You've
I'm
got me.
the host.
Just had a thumbs
Look,
up.
you've got me
behind.
conversational. As soon as my leg goes like this, whew, the F-bombs are coming.
So who have you got commentating your live?
I think it would have to be, and I put a lot of thought into this.
Okay.
It's not actually something I'm thinking of
Let's
right
pick
now.
any esport.
Any esport,
Any facet. Historical figures.
Toss
anybody.
pot.
Toss pot, you go Stuart.
straight top spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
For any reason?
Just because I think the high moments have never been higher than with top spot.
Okay.
You know, like I'm sitting there and I've just hit a home run and he just goes,
sen-
"That is sensational!" And
Yeah.
I'm just like
Yeah.
shaking.
I think I would let Henry to do it because he likes to point out mistakes.
Yeah, he does.
So he,
I'd hate that, though.
When I drop something, he'll go, well, bit of a blunder there.
Yeah.
You know? And I think like narrating my life, I want him more of like he'll see something that I do that is wrong or that I made a bad decision, and I can just see Henry's life advice just being narrated over the top.
I can just imagine you so you go to like a kiosk, you buy yourself a Kolsch, you know, and then Henry kind of comes in later and he goes, "Interesting choice to go for the Kolsch so early." and then later on, you're like trying to buy some chewing gum and he goes, "Failure to manage his economy here." He's just focusing on the money. Didn't put it in an ISA account. That's a poor investment for the long run.
You know what would be a good one? Like I've had like a Sunday and I've slept in all day and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I finally moved to get out of bed.
Yeah.
He does
Something.
the classic Henry G.
Oh, he finally does something. Him.
Jeez. All right.
Good question.
Yeah.
though. I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who would be the worst. I think I couldn't have someone with too much energy. I'm thinking, let me think. I think I'd struggle with Pansy just because she likes laughing at all my failures.
Yeah, she just be laughing
She
the
takes
whole time.
great pleasure in my displeasure.
Yeah, Lauren commentating your life would just be like a
Wouldn't
diss
that
track.
be? Yeah, it would. Yeah. She does her like wheezy witch laugh. She'd just be wheezing and laughing at me for tripping over or something.
I like her quiet moments though.
Oh, they're very good. Yeah, we learned to do that together.
Yeah.
Lots of years of casting. I want to get back.
You want to go back to casting?
Call of Duty 4. You know, I'm sleeping on a floor somewhere.
Okay.
Those were the old golden days.
Sleeping on the floor.
Yeah. Other like a university halls. I couldn't afford to actually rent a room. It was good. That's why
There is that couch
then.
surfing app I was telling you about.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
check that out. Maybe we've just done it right now.
Maybe.
Should we rent this one out? Does it work like that?
We do have another tweet coming in, thick and fast, just to save us. Boxing match between which two CSGO pros would you want to happen? None, because I'm not an advocate of violence.
Oh man, I was ready to give something, then you said that. I have to agree with it.
No.
It's just a
Chad,
What a
pacifist
kid,
Birchill here.
No,
right, you're right.
I've been
Against
getting more and
violence.
more violent in my more
Yeah.
recent months. So who do you?
Pros.
Who's a big boy?
He's right behind you. I would see that.
Do you think
guy.
Zeus?
Put Zeus
I
in the ring?
would definitely see him.
Okay, well, who's it? Let's say that they're fighting in the
Mixed martial arts?
Yeah, but like let's look at Zeus versus Snacks.
Snacks isn't a fighter, man. He's a lover.
Who would I?
Who's throwing a punch?
Who's throwing a punch?
Could be us as well.
I was just telling you.
Us as
Just
well.
picturing myself against Zeus, probably a
That's not a good
3-second
fight.
fight.
I don't think we have.
Do you know what?
anyone
Just
who's
for
really-
just for the sheer comedy of it happening and existing, James Bardolph versus Zeus, and you just see this long, tall scuba diving man throwing
does
these
James
wide
have
hooks.
to fight in the scuba outfit?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's underwater. The fight. Then
Okay.
I think there's
Now
a
we're
spirit.
So a
Now
whole
there's
new dynamic.
yeah. What do you think? Underwater, Bardolph versus Zeus. Sharks, optional.
I can see
A
it.
cage with sharks
A cage
swimming
match.
around.
A literal cage match.
And like every 10 seconds, the doors open a little bit. The shark is about to go in.
No,
So
this
you
is a
have to- you have
devious
to do it
mind.
fast, you know,
I
because
can
otherwise
see
the door's
it.
gonna
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah, I can.
There's something there.
I think we're maybe missing a couple here. That really
You're right.
big
Me
ticket
too. I have
items.
I feel it too.
Let's really think about
Let me
this.
think. Okay. Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you have to think of the
Semfis.
DP lineup. I think Neo would be. I think Neo would be the guy.
Doesn't
that can,
Neo do like jujitsu? or
Yeah.
Like, but he could be like. I feel he has the way to fight.
The way of the
Clever
warrior.
fight. Like,
Yeah,
he can
yeah.
take you down and put you to sleep, and you don't
Okay.
even realize what's happening. You can probably do
Does
that.
Semfis count? Because he's got a lot of muscle mass.
Memphis would just
Destroy everybody.
everyone,
It's like Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Do we have any rivalries? Any legit rivalries with players? Like not us.
Ooh, I'm with
Are
you.
there any players who like don't like each other?
like
Not
you mean
that I'm aware
don't
of.
like, or just because we had the NAF saying simple is not so good, but that
Yeah,
was
but
really
that's
not
not-
like
yeah.
that's not in that category.
No.
I don't think we have like
I couldn't see NAF.
there
Everyone
was
loved
the,
each other.
what was it, the Smuya with mouse sports?
Oh, that was pretty bad.
That got a little bit heated
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I imagine it would also be something to do with just. Oh, that's true. Yeah, but the also like teammates who've kicked a player. You know, like
Sure.
Freiburg versus one of the old Ninjas boys, or
Sure.
et cetera, et cetera. I
Yeah.
think that those would be fun grudge matches.
I think.
Draken comes back in swinging.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Clearly don't know how to punch with my swimming motion. I'll get you. Butterfly.
All right. Well, we have another tweet.
Oh,
they
so
just keep
many.
coming in. This is like a telethon for tweets. All right. Which
Cam again.
historical CSGO team would you want to play on? Oh wow. Vox Eminor.
No, I can't.
You know how to those
No,
go?
I lost to Renegades. That's fine.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
No. Which historical Counter-Strike team do I want to play on? I don't know. I
One
think,
that spoke English, probably.
I think the most fun the bits about Counter-Strike teams is actually exactly the sentiment you were implying before, where it's like the grassroots element of it and making the friends and having the experiencing things together, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of like coming into, I don't think if I could go like all the way back to like playing in Australia,
We're
I
talking
could pick a
CS:GO,
team.
right?
Yeah, but if I had to pick a CS:GO team, I don't know. Like I think that's a very interesting
Do you
question.
have an answer?
Yeah, I guess I would play with Very Games, but when they were number 2 in the world,
Yeah.
and when everything was going right, Existence was controlling. I mean, he had the plan, and the players were really good. I would probably make a spot for me in that team.
to be a part
to
of
live,
that.
it feels like to live the real French dream that
Yeah,
I
Okay.
we haven't
could never
seen it.
grasp.
Yeah.
That one.
That's true. That's a good choice. That's a good
I
one.
would
Alex
like
is
to be
keen to
there.
play in any show match possible.
I really enjoyed myself.
It's good fun, right?
Well, I hadn't played CS in months.
Which team were you on, the winning or the losing team?
Winning team.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was managing to keep fragging with Valence, which I felt like was actually quite an achievement.
Okay.
Quite an
He's
achievement,
a
huh?
capable player.
Who'd you have on your team in that one?
It was me,
Who was the star player
Pterodactyls,
that you had?
Twists.
Ah, that's pretty nice.
Twist
When
and
was that?
Valence. It was in Dallas.
Ooh.
I had so much
ECS
fun.
finals, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Oh, I need to play some more Counter-Strike. I need to go home.
Well, speaking of players,
Oh, yeah, let's do this.
we're going to draw.
So
So
bad.
one of us is going to draw a player, I think, and the rest of us are going to interpret who we think it is. So we'll start with Alex. It's going to be 60
what?
seconds.
Okay, I need a
It
pen.
has to be like artistic in some sense, or
Oh,
like it's
You're
not
going to be
just
sitting there
drawing.
with bloody shading. It's 60 seconds, man.
I mean,
Hold up. Let me get out my timer.
All right. Do I just choose the player? Is this how it works? Or do you tell me
It's
who it is?
interpretive.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but I have to be drawing it with the aim of someone. No?
Yeah, you can choose whoever you want to draw,
Okay.
and we'll try and guess. Tell me when you're ready.
Let me think of a player first. That's just okay. I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. The clock
Okay.
has begun. We're at 59 seconds, Alex.
Oh,
trying not to cheat. I'm not looking at what
Yeah,
it's doing.
don't look.
No. Just
Now,
looking at
but
you.
what we should kind of think about here is: are there any players that Alex likes? You know, is he getting influence from players in the room? Is there a star player that he might be thinking?
There are plenty of interesting players at this tournament, right?
Mhm.
So if you just stay on the teams that here, there's many players you can draw. But I'm trying to think like a player that has something specific to him that makes him easy to represent. Because obviously my drawing abilities are trash, so
Yes.
I need to have some metaphor to it,
Okay.
some symbolism to it. And I'm thinking, what players do I associate with what? And that's actually an interesting question.
25 seconds remaining.
Oh, the bottom's really not gone how I planned.
20 seconds.
Oh.
It's all right. Don't feel bad. Right after you, I'm going to draw and you're going to feel fine. So you're safe.
Okay. Oh.
This isn't like Art Attack by any means, is it? We're not going to get you out there in the middle of the arena with Salt doing the big old
Yeah.
things like 5 seconds. That Art Attack reference is really obscure.
I
Those
loved
of you
it,
who
though.
get it. All right. You hear that?
Okay, I decided not to do the torso in the
Okay,
end.
here we go.
The start of the torso.
Glasses. He wears glasses, has hair.
Yeah.
Glasses
the
and hair.
hair looks specific, right? But glasses.
Oh, does he not wear glasses?
I'm
Have I just
trying to
given him
think about
glasses?
it.
for no
Is it
reason?
Twist?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say twist because of the hair.
But he
wear
doesn't-
glasses.
Does Twist wear glasses?
Does he wear glasses?
Someone on Twitter can tell us.
Hold up.
I swear he
I'm
wears
pretty
glasses.
sure he does wear glasses. Why would we not think?
He wears
I
glasses.
can't-
Screw all of you.
He does.
I'm
Yes.
I think he does.
Mother
but like
truckers.
very thin one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He does.
Yeah.
It just feels part of his head.
Twists, 2018.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we nailed that one.
Be selling that on Twitter.
Can you take a picture of that and tweet it at him? We don't have to take a picture and tweet it at him, but I thought maybe see if,
yeah,
see if
maybe
the
I will.
internet can guess who it is.
Okay.
All right.
Who's next? I want to play.
Maniac is up.
Okay.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Hold up, let me.
Wait,
let
get the
me-
time. You're doing a really good job, by the way, Chad. Do you want to?
Thank you.
Maybe we could swap roles. Never mind.
Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I'm looking.
Alex, just while we're having Maniac draw, talk us through your inspiration for that drawing.
So I knew immediately it had to be something easily recognizable.
Sure.
Recognizable. I was just
Yep.
reading. So I was like, look, he's got the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh hair.
Yep.
Let's go for that. And then I did the hair. And I wanted to do like a chiseled jaw, but it kind of became a long neck. This was supposed to be like a strong jawline.
Okay.
Because of all this chewing gum and
Sure.
working out. But it's just kind of a long neck instead.
Can we get you to sign that one, Alex?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure the viewers at home,
We'll auction it off.
yeah, they might be like that. Maniac, we're currently at 22
Bad
seconds
sign 'cause I'm
remaining.
already over. That's
22 seconds remaining.
That's a really bad sign.
That's one of my best signatures to date, that.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
It's easy when you're actually writing on something which is
Paper.
meant to be written
Yeah,
on,
as
right?
opposed to a bloody mouse, man.
Yeah. Can you sign this T-shirt that's crinkled? Yeah,
I've got-
But the signature's going to be trash.
I have a. Have I shown
2,
you my?
1. Stop the clock.
Is it over?
Yep. All right,
Yes,
here we
you
go.
know how we could be artistic?
Yes.
I guess you can figure out.
Whoa.
It's RPK.
It's
Yes,
RPK
there
the
you go,
tank.
the tank. Oh, sorry. There we go.
All right.
Wait,
That's
it's
my
so
vision of
detailed. I'll
RPK.
take it to it. Hang on.
I put the sun.
Oh.
I think it should count.
Okay. Well, I think that was I got that one instantly. Yeah. Okay. No, your signature, not RPK's.
But it's
His signature.
He knows it's RPK.
Yeah, but we're signing it because I'm sure.
we have to sign it
yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
I
Alex
didn't know
signed.
that.
Alex signed his
All right.
I
drawing.
didn't sign it.
Then
Twist.
I'm gonna say RPK by Maniac.
Okay,
There we go.
beautiful. That's nice.
So
Yeah.
I want to do mine here,
Okay. Do you want me to do the
but I
timer?
want to preface this
Uh-huh.
that I'm going to try and think well and truly outside of the box to make this one a little bit harder.
It's not even going to be a CS player.
No, well, maybe that's not the right idea.
It's like, it's a League of Legends player. Got you.
Ha-ha!
All right, you ready?
No, I'm not, because now I'm thinking, is it too difficult what I'm trying to do?
You have to manage what you can do, your own capabilities, and that's why I went for the tank. I knew I could.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried about my drawing capabilities. Those are terrible. I'm trying to see how I can get you guys to interpret it. Screw it, let's give it a go. You're not going to get it. It doesn't matter. You ready, Alex?
Yeah, 3,
Okay.
2, 1. Party time. Oh, you're getting lots of messages, Chad. Ooh.
Who's messaging me now?
Oh, things are getting steamy.
Damn.
Could probably make a segment out of it.
Yeah, it's Henry G.
Oh, he's awake.
He's not yet, actually.
He's
no.
not?
He's still in bed. Cast a life.
So what do you
They're
think
asking
that?
about this.
But the thing is, I didn't know what would you put in the inside of a tank. Like I don't know. Like how?
I want to understand your kind of tank description. Every tank you've
I've done
seen-
a lot of writing. I think I've already
Is
failed.
that is the,
Yeah.
you know the cannon?
But no, but tanks don't have a little pipe at the front, do they?
They
They have a.
Because you always
How
have
would
these-
you
these
aim that?
movies.
Would
I've
you have to
stopped
turn
drawing.
the whole vehicle?
Look, stop the
there's supposed
clock.
to be a-
Oh God! Sorry.
There's supposed to be a
So
platform you can
demanding.
rotate.
How many
down
seconds did I have left?
19.
Well, because this is a terrible drawing and I've kind of failed here, but I'm the host, so I can do whatever I want.
Uh-huh.
You need to read the text.
Come on then.
So I'm going to show it to you guys first. So,
Oh,
and then I'll
okay.
explain it.
Yeah.
Can I explain it?
I mean, you're doing simple, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason that he's on a cloud,
Yeah, why is
well,
that?
he's meant to be like the god of Counter-Strike, but then I've realized it's really hard to depict that. So basically, the text is...
Not FPL.
It's
a
a
major.
major.
Kind of cheated.
Definitely
yeah,
cheated.
Some would say.
But that's-
okay, here's the next page. You have 19 seconds to not do a bad one.
19 seconds. Not
19
do it. I'm going to
Yeah.
use the back to
You have
be-
the
Hold up a
remaining
second,
time.
hold up
Are
a
you ready?
second. Can I think about a player
Yes.
at least?
Yes, of course you can. Got to use all your time.
But like I appreciate the idea, like the cloud symbol
Give me a second.
over anyone, God of Counter Strike.
Give me a second.
You can't think of a single CS player now, can you?
No, they're all like my mind is void.
Yeah.
How is it so hard?
Yeah.
Let me just think of a couple teams. Oh,
Sure.
there's an actual forklift
Ooh.
going by,
Wow.
like an actual forklift.
Okay. Thinking forklift, thinking cash,
Forklift, yeah,
thinking
who plays
Thinking
NDK.
real good players.
And
Yeah.
Thinking, how would you draw MBK?
I don't know.
I would put him like with
A
karate
sleeve?
belt or something. Like he used to
Okay.
do karate.
Not a bad one. We need to look for.
Could
We
be
need
better.
a not bad one. Okay, let me just think
Wait,
of.
did we just discard NBK because it's bad? Or it's
No. He said not a bad drawing.
Oh, I know what you could do.
I've got one.
Yeah.
Are we
okay,
ready?
Ready? 19 seconds starts now.
Stop the clock.
That's actually under pressure.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Happy. Wow. There it is. Okay. Round of applause.
There we go.
Abstract approach. That was.
Oh, have we got it? Do you want it close? It's just a smiley.
No,
face.
you have to catch all the details. Zoom in. Zoom in. Catch the flick of the wrist.
All right.
Good job, team.
Not bad.
Any interesting DMs that came through there, Alex? Or-
Yeah, just Harry
Yeah.
says next Tuesday works. Don't know what that means.
Well, all right.
I'll leave that with you.
I've lost the lid.
How have you managed that?
I don't know.
You haven't moved.
I'm not sure.
He's in behind.
Okay, I'm just going to check Twitter, see if people knew who it was.
Yours, you mean?
Yeah.
Yours?
Yeah, but yours were. It's just that we forgot he had
Yes.
glasses because.
A man with a strong jawline. Dom understands.
Okay.
It was a strong
If
neck
I've
jaw.
lost the lid, I feel like it's
Dude, it will
not.
be back. Relax.
Do we want to do the DMs one, or are we done?
The DMs one? Will you check DMs?
You have to. I don't know. I don't understand how it works.
Mine are really boring. I'm going to have a look now. Hey, you up for an interview? Oh, I should probably reply to that.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, we got another tweet. We do have
Okay.
another tweet.
Save us from that.
Hey, Anna. Oh, it's a Sponge specifically. I'll read it to you.
Ooh.
In what new location would you like to see a CSGO event? Chad Sponge Birchill.
Specifically me. So you guys
Perth.
shut up.
Perth.
All
No.
right. Where's yours?
Pick a location. I think that an event in Japan would be a lot of fun.
Ooh.
I think Japan would be sick because I
Yeah,
think
I'd
when
love
you go to places like that, it's a big culture shock, right? I think I had the same feeling when I went to Taipei. I had the same feeling when I went to Seoul. Even though they're just like cities, the way that they approach a lot of different things that we do in the Western world,
Yeah, for sure.
it's so much different, and it's a fun little culture shock, right? And I think that would be a cool place, mainly because I would get to explore it, not really anything to do with the Counter-Strike.
I've never done Asia, you know,
You've
I haven't
any of Asia?
in my career.
Have you not been to China?
Never. It just kind of never happens.
We're gonna have to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
I know. I mean, I want to. I think I've got a couple of things on my hit list. I want to see Thailand. I want
Thailand?
to see Taipei.
Okay.
Just because it was on my head.
You can do a lot of flights directly from anywhere in Europe to pretty much that part of the
Yeah,
world.
but I don't think I'd do it on my own time, just because it's traveling on my own time.
Probably
seems
gonna
so
be tournaments
stupid.
over there.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
guess.
So you maybe like it the tail end of an event or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I'm going to do a couple of extra days here.
They did an event in Bangkok not too long ago.
Oh, was it?
They
Yes,
did,
Toyota Masters.
Yeah, they did that one.
Yep.
Yep.
Speaking of Japanese esports, there was I saw this crazy thing they ran during the international. So there isn't a huge esports thing because of Japan's gaming gambling laws.
Okay.
So you can't have prize money, which is why esports is really hindered in Japan. You can't do prize money, but what they can do is give you gifts, right? So
Gifts of money.
there's a Dota tournament run by this I guess he's a farmer and a fisherman.
Okay.
And so he does a Dota tournament where he invites people over and they compete for fish.
They compete for fish.
Yeah.
Like expensive fish?
Like no, I think he
just
cooks
like
them.
the
He
salmon?
cooks
He's
them
like a merchant.
He cooks them like a fish dinner if they and everyone hangs out and plays Dota.
That's kind of cool
It's worth it. It's on YouTube. Check out
Thinking outside the box.
Slacks went all the way to Japan and
to do that.
yeah, and
Okay.
he went crab fishing and it's hilarious.
Oh.
Worth watching.
All right.
But yeah, Japanese esports seems to be kind of lagging behind a bit.
All right. We got anything else on this?
Gucci.
I think we're done. All right.
Yeah.
We're wrapping this one up. Thank you for joining us. MIBR will be here in about half an hour, so stick around
Oh,
for
they
those
will.
guys. And try not to get run over by any forklifts during your day, because
They are loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're here.
Goodbye, everybody.
If you want to subscribe to the Blast Pro Series YouTube channel, you can do it here. And if you want to leave a like and see the last video, you can do it over here.
Nice, Ovi.